The distress beacon had been silent for 3 days when Draven Cole finally traced it to the ravine. He descended carefully, medkit strapped across his chest, boots finding purchase on jagged rock. The colony moon of Ashvale wasn't supposed to have wildlife. Terraforming had only begun 2 years prior. But the gouges in the stone told a different story. Something massive had crashed here, something that bled. The blood was luminescent, a violet bioluminescence that pooled in crevices and painted the rocks with an otherworldly glow. Draven had seen a lot in his 8 years as a field medic, patching up miners, soldiers, and refugees across a dozen contested systems. But he'd never seen blood that glowed. He found the creature at the bottom of the ravine. It was colossal, easily 20 meters from snout to tail, with scales that shimmered like oil on water. Wings, torn and tattered, lay splayed across the rocky ground. The beast's breathing came in ragged gasps, each exhale releasing wisps of superheated air that made the atmosphere shimmer. One of its hind legs was bent at an unnatural angle, and a massive wound gaped along its flank, exposing muscle and something that might have been circuitry. Draven should have run. Every survival instinct screamed at him to climb back up and forget what he'd seen. But his hands were already moving, unslinging his medkit, his mind cataloging injuries with clinical detachment. The creature's eye, massive and golden, tracked his approach. Intelligence gleamed there and something else. Pain. Fear. Easy. Draven murmured. The same tone he'd used on countless frightened patients. I'm here to help. The beast rumbled, a sound that vibrated through Draven's chest. Warning or plea, he couldn't tell. He approached slowly, hands visible, until he stood beside the gaping wound. Up close, he could see the fusion of organic and synthetic. Bioengineered tissue interwoven with neural processors and what looked like weapon systems. Someone had made this. Someone had built a living weapon and let it fall here to die. Draven got to work. His standard supplies weren't meant for anything this size, but medicine was medicine. He irrigated the wound with synthesized antibiotics, used his laser cauterizer to seal bleeding vessels, and applied regenerative gel to the exposed tissue. The creature trembled but didn't attack. When Draven splinted the broken leg using carbon fiber supports meant for human limbs, the beast actually lowered its head, as if in gratitude. Hours passed. The twin sons of Ashvale began their descent, casting the ravine in shadow. Draven worked by the light of his headlamp and the creature's own bioluminescent blood, suturing, stabilizing, saving a life he didn't understand. When he finally stepped back, exhausted, the creature lifted its head. Their eyes met, and Draven saw something impossible. Tears, crystalline and shimmering, tracking down scales. "What are you?" he whispered. The beast opened its jaws and a voice emerged, distorted, mechanical but unmistakably female. "Serath. My name is Serath." Draven's breath caught. "You can speak?" "Bioengineered. For the Empress Kalira, 3rd generation Wardrake. Designation, Omega-7. Each word seemed to cost her tremendous effort. "I was made to kill, to burn worlds, to enforce her will. Then why are you here? Alone?" Serath's eye closed. "I refused an order. She commanded me to destroy a colony ship. Refugees, children, I could not." The dragon's voice cracked. "So she had me shot down. Left to die where no one would find me." Draven sat heavily on a nearby rock, processing this. The Kaliran Empire was notorious across 5 sectors. A brutal autocracy that had conquered 17 systems in the last decade. Empress Kalira ruled through fear and overwhelming force. And apparently, through bioengineered dragons. How many others like you? 5 remain, all loyal, all obedient. Serath's gaze found him again. "Why did you help me, human? You risked yourself for a weapon. For a monster." Draven stood, checking the wound dressing one more time. "I'm a medic. I don't ask who someone is before I treat them. I just see someone who needs help." He met her golden eyes. "And you're not a monster. Monsters don't cry. They don't refuse orders that would kill children." For a long moment, silence stretched between them. Then Serath shifted, testing her splinted leg. The regenerative gel was already working, accelerating her natural healing at a visible rate. "The Empress will send hunters," she said quietly. "When they discover I survived, they will come. You should leave this place. Can you fly?" "Not yet. Days, perhaps. If I'm not found first. Draven considered his options. He thought about the distress beacon that had brought him here, about the ship waiting 3 kilometers away, about the smart choice. Then he thought about refugee children who were alive because this creature had chosen mercy over obedience. I'll stay, he said simply. Keep you stable until you can fly. Then you disappear and I'll say I never found anything but wreckage. You would risk your life for me? Already have. Draven managed a tired smile. Besides, someone needs to change those dressings in 12 hours. Medical professional's duty. Something that might have been a laugh rumbled from Serath's chest. Humans. I was told you were weak, foolish, that your compassion was a flaw to be exploited. Maybe it is, Draven said, settling against the ravine wall, his rifle across his lap. But it's also what makes us human. We help even when it's dangerous, even when it doesn't make sense. Especially then. Serath lowered her massive head to the ground, her breathing already easier, steadier. Thank you, Dravencole. When I am healed, I will remember this. What you risked. What you gave freely. Just get better, Draven replied. And maybe when you're gone from here, remember that mercy goes both ways. The Empire might have made you a weapon, but you chose to be something else. Above them, stars emerged as darkness fell. Somewhere in that vast expanse, an empire spread its tyranny across worlds. But here, in a forgotten ravine on a colony moon, a human medic kept watch over a dragon who had chosen kindness over killing. And in that moment, both were free.